Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Talking Geeky Stuff with me, Tenshi. And as you probably noticed by the clip and this gift, I'll be talking about Attack on Titan. And my question is to you and to myself, is this the best anime in the last 10 years? Good question, huh? Reason why I say this, and I even ask myself that, is it really that good? I mean, it's amazing, but is it the best in the last 10 years? And the reason why I asked this question is, so I'm a big fan of anime, of course. Been a big fan of anime for most of my life. Some of you viewers here weren't even born when I watched some of the TV shows and movies. If you go back into my video library, you see that I've done a few anime videos. One recently, a couple of weeks ago, about 25 must-see anime series. Definitely check that out. Is the question I ask myself again is, why is it the best? And I'll tell you why. About 10, 12 years ago, I would say that my enthusiasm for anime kind of dropped a little bit. You know, I would say that there's a lot of things that time in my life affected it. Like getting older, of course, having more responsibilities as you get older. You get more responsibility in work, responsibility with family, friends. Life itself just has more responsibility. And not only that, I think that the older you get, you have slightly different tastes of things. So I started getting into other things, like a lot more into comics, video games, TV, movies. Got into more my design, graphic design. I was actually get into a lot more. My martial art training was more intense because I was moving up in the ranks and all kinds. I was going to holidays, like vacation all over the world. I enjoyed a lot. I was getting into books, graphic novels, loads of things. I was getting into tech, of course. I love my tech, but that time tech was really having a big step. Loads of mobile phones was coming out, tablets, laptops. So I was getting into a lot of that stuff. So I think that it's just natural that slowly sometimes things start taking a back seat, sometimes they go in the forefront. And anime was one of those where it was slowly kind of taking a back seat. Not because I was losing passion. I mean, my passion is kind of always there. It's just enthusiasm. Because I don't remember really watching or any anime series or movie that really took my attention. I was watching like One Piece, Naruto, Detective Conan, other little anime series, but I would watch them like one episode here, another episode there. But I never had that enthusiasm where I watch 5 episodes in one sitting. So that in mind, I remember one day, a good few years ago now, I was just having a chat with one of my colleagues. When you just somehow just end up talking, and then you both realize, we both have the similar hobbies, interests. He was really big into anime. He was a good 15 years younger than me, so he was more up to date with all the latest anime. And I was telling him some of my anime that I grew up with, and he was, wow, I've heard of it, never seen it. So I gave him a list of anime from the late 80s to the 90s to watch. I explained to him that my enthusiasm started to drop a little bit, and he said to me, you have to watch Attack on Titan. I mean, I've heard of it, saw some images. One of the things you just put to the side. So he kept on urging me, you have to watch it. So okay, so I did. So I think that week I went home, and the funny thing was I didn't watch it straight away. I think it's just one of those days when I just had nothing to do, had the day off. So I decided to watch Attack on Titan, because I remember previously I downloaded it somewhere. So I watched the first episode, and my God, I was like, wow, I was blown away by it. I was like, this is very good, very intense. Animation was great, all that cool jazz. I'll go into a bit more of the details why I think it's such a great anime in a minute. So I was like, wow, this is fantastic. Straight away, watched the second episode. then third, fourth, fifth. By the time I realised, I was like 7 or 8 in. I must have finished the season in 2 days. And I've never felt this way for a long time. I thought, wow, this is great. So, and the good thing was I was about nearly 2 years. I think originally Attack on Titan came out in I was going to say 19 something there, but 2013, right? So I watched it around late 2014, early 2015, around that time anyway. So by the time I finished it, I didn't have to wait too long because the second season was already available. So I watched that and I binged that in a couple of days as well. And then once that came out, I was kind of caught up to everyone else, and I had to wait for season 3, which by the way took quite some time. And I was like, wow, great. And I want to talk about 5 great things about Attack on Titan and what really brought me back, what really brought anime back to my forefront of enthusiasm. So one is great characters. I think as a collective, it has a lot of characters, and what's so good about it, they gave a lot of characters some shine. Each character have a unique personality, a trait. You know, you like them, you hate them, you love them, etc. They're really good. Even smaller characters you kind of care about. That's one testimony about this show is every time a Titan eats and kills one of the characters, you actually feel for them because the story is so intense. And even though the character is only seen for maybe 2 episodes, you actually feel for them. And I think not many even live action TV shows or other anime can do that as well as Attack on Titan. I think that is a great testimony to the team behind that. 2, great animation. Definitely one of the better animation TV shows I've seen in a long time. It's just amazing. I won't go into too much detail about that. Great soundtrack. I think that the soundtrack is definitely one of the best ones as well. I mean, just the beginning sequence, you know, that minute and a half song kicks in at the beginning. It kind of reminds me of when I was younger watching the Rocky. That music, you know, it gets your blood pumping, makes you want to go to the gym, you know, makes you want to go punch a punch bag, do some martial arts. It's great. And great action. Action animation lends itself hand to hand. Without great animation, you can't produce great action scenes. So action sequences are amazing, especially when they're flying around in the cities and you see the camera goes, or they're flying under the Titan, over the Titans. Just the camera angles is amazing on that. Great story. As I mentioned earlier on, you can't have great characters with great story. Like I mentioned, it's because of the story is so well done that it makes the characters likable. Even the smaller characters, you feel for them. And finally, great abs. Even though, I mean, after watching the trailer for season 4, I was like, wow, where did that come from? Makes me want to hit the gym even more and get abs like him. Moving on is the franchise. Anything that makes it big automatically have a franchise. Manga. Get confused sometimes. I bought a few of these. 1 to 8 or something like that. Slowly reading them all. Definitely worth getting. I think it's great. Of course, I mentioned the anime. That got me back into anime again in a big way. The video games. The second one was a lot better than the first one, so definitely check out the second one. I got it on my Nintendo Switch, so I play when I'm in the toilet, going to work, my lunch break. Definitely improved a lot from the first game. And the live action. So I won't go into too much detail, but I watched them both. I think the first one was okay. The second one was terrible. I'll probably go into more about the live action in a minute, and my thoughts on that. What's next for Attack on Titan? Of course, I want them. There's a few things I really want. Of course, I think I just briefly talked about a live action. I think when you watch, say, the live action, you have to have some some reservations. I think that when you watch any Asian films, you can't compare them to, say, Hollywood movies. If it's a drama shows, definitely yes. But if you're talking about like big budget, action-packed special effects kind of movie, you have to take a few steps back when you watch an Asian film, because we just don't have the budget. We don't have the manpower, the know-how, and so on. Because Americans, Hollywood has way more experience there, way more money. I mean, an average, if you take a look at a film like Shang-Chi, $150 million budget. I mean, that budget alone is like 5 big budget movies in Hong Kong, Japan, Korea. That's how big a film is. And considering $150 million budget is considered average in America now. Most films are around $250 million now. So I would love to see a Hollywood studio take the rights and do a live action. And I'll tell you a few reasons why. I'm against it, but I'm actually for it this time, because Attack on Titan is loosely based on Europe in the 1800s, that period of time. And I think it'd be great to have a great Western cast. And of course, Mikasa, Eren, and Levi will be still Asian, of course. But you know what I mean, like have a great Western cast, great actors, actresses to do that, with the amazing set pieces. They will actually set it in Europe somewhere. The great special effects that Hollywood can do, make it into like a trilogy, 3 movies, and you can see the characters' growth and evolution. So I think that is what I want. And most important thing is have a great producer behind it who takes anime seriously, and also know the history, the lore, just know the culture behind anime, and really produce an anime that is respectable to the genre, I think. And then I would love to see is, on the topic of movies, I would love to see a big budget not live action, sorry, a animated movie be set after the TV show, set like maybe in the middle, where they will have maybe a 2-hour long animated movie with amazing animation, something like that. So that is what I would like to see next. What about you? Let me know. Would you like to see a live action produced by Hollywood, with the big, amazing special effects, set pieces, and so on? Anyway, I'd like to say thank you for watching and staying to this long. Please subscribe, like the video. Until next time, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. And please stay safe.